cup, and we'll take, and usually go from the neutral gray and add the white. That way you can kind of see how much it lightens up. If you do it the other way around, it's kind of hard to figure out where you're at. So, and this paint is going to be very thin and brushed on in a very thin pattern, very thinned out with the dilution paint thinner. So we don't need a whole lot of it, but okay, let's give that a try. Mix that around. Okay. I don't want this looking too much lighter because it's on the underside of the airplane, so I don't want it to look really crazy because first of all, the sun doesn't get quite down on the bottom as much as it does the top, and your shadow effect will keep it a little bit darker, but I do want something just to show that there's a difference. That looks like that might be enough. So what we'll do is we'll stir it a little more, put a whole bunch of thinner in there to really thin it out. I don't want this to look like a patch of paint. I want it to look like it's just a lighter tone of the neutral gray that's already there. Okay. And always experiment and test out your colors before you actually spray on the model. So we're gonna and thinning it out, sometimes you need to reduce the air pressure to make it spray a little smoother and to get the fine lines. Okay. So let's reduce that a little bit. Okay, now we can get a fairly fine line out of it. And we'll start just on this outer panel here. And we'll just basically fill in between the panel lines themselves, working from the inside out, and just slowly building it up. Let's see if that's gonna be enough of a lighter shade. And always be sure to make sure you let it dry to see what the effect is. Okay. Alright, looking pretty good. I'll continue on some of these other panels. Let me do one other panel here to show. And it just needs to be just slightly lighter. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not, but it's actually looking quite decent. It isn't too stark to the eye, but it will show a difference. And when I start doing the panel lines at the end with some pastel chalks, it'll bring it out even more. So I'll continue with that and work all along the bottom and then do the extra parts. Okay, one thing I wanted to show was that doing the fading here, I actually wanted the ailerons, which were a fabric covered structure, to be quite a bit lighter. So I'm going to really hit this with quite a bit more of the lighter gray, and that way they'll stand out, because they would have actually faded to to a lighter color. Actually, they look different the minute they painted them because they were a fabric, dope covered fabric. So we'll do them a little heavier to make them stand out. And you can match this if you want. Usually freehanding it doesn't look too bad, but you can see it's quite a bit lighter there. And I'll do the same on the other side and on the tail surfaces.